It's Friday, and you're just in time for another edition of your Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Audrey Williams, and I have a lot to share with you today, so stay right there. The show starts right now.
It's the 11th staging of the JIS Heritage Competition. Students, show your national pride by entering the essay, poster and photo competition. Primary school students, enter the essay competition. Triumphant, proud and free. Use this phrase from the song Jamaica Land of Beauty to explain our nation's heritage and achievements. High school students, design a poster that best portrays the phrase triumphant, proud and free. And university students, capture a photo that depicts the phrase triumphant, proud and free. Submit your entries by October 31. Visit jis.gov.jm for competition guidelines. Triumphant, proud and free. The JIS Heritage Competition 2021.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 24, 2021. The Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry has provided $5 million to incentivize farmers and fisherfolk to subscribe to the GK Weather Protect insurance coverage. It's a parametric rain, drought, and wind insurance policy for the agricultural sector. The funds will be used to subsidize the initial premium for the first 1,000 farmers and fishers. $5,000 will go towards the coverage of the first 300 females and $3,500 for the first 700 males. Both categories include youth below the age of 29. Minister with responsibility for agriculture and fisheries, Audley Shaw, made the announcement in Parliament on Wednesday while updating members on the impact of tropical storms Grace and Ida on the agricultural sector.
The agricultural sector is particularly vulnerable to the impact of weather-based disasters, with severe weather conditions generally being a major challenge.
With the recent passage of tropical storms Grace and Ida, the agricultural sector suffered damage valued in excess of $1.7 billion, impacting over 21,000 farmers. Stakeholders in the fisheries sector will soon see a major reduction in the turnaround time for the processing of license and registration applications. The Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry is working with the Transformation Implementation Unit, TIU, to overhaul the existing manual process. The new fisheries licensing and registration system will be web-based to facilitate online application and greater efficiency in generating and processing data. It will also allow for a faster turnaround time for applicants to receive their licenses. The $1.2 million system is being executed under a 6-year program being funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. 5 emergency shelters across the island will be upgraded to provide access for persons with disabilities. Ramps and rails will be constructed at the Nain High School, New Forest Primary and High, Ensom City Primary, Leonard Revival Primary, and Pepin High School. The undertaking was confirmed by way of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and Digicel Foundation. Both stakeholders agree that the necessary retrofitting will not only benefit the vulnerable among the shelter population, but the schools in general.
We are talking about the necessary accessories that should be in place to ensure, especially for persons who use wheelchairs, your wheelchair ramps, your rails, your bathrooms should be fabricated in a way to ensure that persons with disabilities can use the bathrooms, and especially your sleeping areas should be fabricated in such a way or reconstructed in such a way that persons with disabilities can access these facilities.
This is 5 that we'll be doing in this financial year, and we will look to continue to partner with them as we move forward. So our charge, not just to ODPM, but to all of us, is let's do our part in whatever way we can, however small it is, to make a difference in the life of someone with special needs.
There are over 867 shelters across the island, with almost 90% of the locations being schools. Attorneys at law empaneled by the Legal Aid Council for complex criminal trial proceedings will soon benefit from increased fees, equating to 15 to 20% of those for private lawyers. Minister of Information Favour Williams says Cabinet approved the increase, which is in keeping with Section 4(2)(b) of the Legal Aid Act. She was speaking during Wednesday's post-Cabinet digital media briefing.
The rationale for an increase in the tariff of fees was as a result of the current wide disparity between fees payable at the private bar and that of the fees applied by the Legal Aid Council to empaneled attorneys who offer legal aid services.
According to Minister Williams, the restructured fees were approved by the Legal Aid Council for it to be prescribed under the Act. She informed that Cabinet also gave approval for the issuing of drafting instructions to the Chief Parliamentary Council for regulations to give effect to these undertakings. The legal aid regime seeks to guarantee the constitutional rights of all accused persons to a fair trial, regardless of their ability to pay for legal representation. 42 wards of the state at the Mount Olivet Home for Boys were presented with back-to-school supplies during the recent Back-to-School and Career Day put on by the Jamaica Information Service, JIS. The donation was provided with assistance from Joseph's and the Why Be Afraid Foundation. The event is one of 3 main activities for the year to support the home as part of the JIS Corporate Social Responsibility Agenda.
We look forward to this time of year when we plan for back to school. Everybody know that the problem and the concern and the issues we are having with the pandemic, but nevertheless, life goes on.
Various professionals in fields such as animation, music, entertainment, events production and management, as well as customs contraband enforcement, were invited via Zoom to inspire the boys regarding career options. And finally, amendments have been made under the Disaster Risk Management Act, DRMA, to facilitate an increase in attendance at worship services. Effective September 25, the number of persons who may be physically present at a place of worship will be no more than 20. However, where the building can accommodate more persons at a minimum of 6 feet apart, no more than 50 persons will be allowed. While Sundays remain no-movement days until October 24, provisions have been made in the DRMA for worshippers to travel on that day between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. The same adjustment for places of worship has been made for weddings regarding the limit to the number of persons in attendance. However, there has been no change for funeral services with mortal remains present. The maximum number of persons is 20 regardless of the size of the place of worship. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. The Jamaica Information Service has updated its mobile app. It's easier to navigate, loads even faster than before, talking about top speed, operates seamlessly across platforms, and we're a creative bunch, so it's much easier on the eyes. Now you have quick and easy access to news stories, television and radio features, and a variety of photos right at your fingertips. And you'll get push notifications when new content is uploaded. Download the app on your Apple and Android devices now and get news you can use. Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica on the go.
In our first feature for today, we highlight the outstanding work of members of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, who work tirelessly to keep our streets and surroundings clean, even at nights. Watch this.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and drum, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman they work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me day out here, you know. She rather me day with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. Nobody not give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work me do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say some my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do there with all the truck like all that, so now them don't say, you move from here, so you don't think in truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through the more easier for it. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it bag up, it's more easier for it.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things, put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. It's a common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sorts of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want. And they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can all strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things there. And come back around and take it up same because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way and I don't really go for them though. I still things that happen, you know. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. How we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them. I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWNA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel. I really use a night time.
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Up next, the steps you can take to master the art of proper waste management.
Every single day, every living thing creates waste. What's waste? It's any substance that we discard of or throw out after it has served its primary purpose. For example, after having the water in this bottle, I no longer need it, so the bottle becomes waste. Here in Jamaica, we create an average of over 8,000 tons of solid waste per day.
We, from time to time, do what we call garbage characterization survey. This is where we actually go island-wide and take samples of the garbage and look at what make up the garbage, what's the composition of the garbage.
Regardless of what makes up your garbage, if you don't dispose of them correctly, we'll contribute to air and water pollution, flooding and diseases while influencing climate change. That's why today we'll look at the different types of waste and the best ways to dispose of them. Well, lunch was good. Sorry you missed it, but I want to point out how much waste I created from just 30 minutes of eating. I have this empty water bottle, well, almost empty, a lunch box. I have napkins, a fork, and I have some leftovers. So far, I've created organic, recyclable, and solid waste. Other types of waste include hazardous and liquid. Let's go ahead and break them down while looking on how to dispose of each. Let's start with organic waste. Organic waste is any material that is biodegradable and comes from either a plant or an animal. Examples include paper, leftover food, leaves, branches, and livestock manure. Over time, organic waste eventually breaks down into fertilizer, but not if it goes to the landfill. That's not good. There it will produce methane, and high levels of methane can reduce the amount of oxygen in the air, which will affect our breathing. So, where should it go? Organic waste shouldn't go into your bin. Take it round a back and start a composting heap.
We believe that composting provides an excellent opportunity.
Composting is rather simple. Cut the bottom from a container and place it directly on the ground in a cool or shaded location in your backyard.
First, we start with some grass from the lawn. I have some cardboard that I bought some things at the store and I got. This is cardboard. So I just cut it up and I throw it in.
Then add wood chips, fruits and vegetable waste, and animal waste from your cows or goats.
You need moisture, you need air.
Keep your compost moist and stir it regularly.
More.
We would produce the best soil nutrients for our flower beds, our farms, our little kitchen gardens. We will then be cutting back on expensive buying fertilizer.
Liquid waste includes fluids such as domestic wastewater, sewage, processed water, grease, or other liquids. Wastewater from doing the dishes, laundry, and showering are considered grey water and can be used in your garden. Hazardous waste can be liquid or solid. It includes all types of rubbish that are flammable, toxic, corrosive, and reactive. First things first, don't throw hazardous waste, whether liquid or solid, in your bin. Follow the labels on hazardous products for disposal instructions and buy the exact amount that you need. So if you use all of it, you really don't have any waste. You can flush some hazardous household wastes followed by plenty of water. This only applies though to hazardous household waste that can be neutralized by water. And when in doubt, reach out to the NSWMA. Solid waste is any tangible item that has already served its primary purpose and is discarded by individuals. This type of waste is commonly broken down into plastic, paper, metals, tins, ceramics, and glass. The good news is that most of the solid waste we create are recyclable and compostable. That's another reason it's important to separate your garbage. This way, you can create a compost heap with your solid organic waste and recycle bottles, furniture, and other solid waste. For those in terrible condition, drop them in your Jomadi gates and the NSWMA will be there on the double for them. And if you don't have a drum, the NSWMA will provide one under its Jomadi Gate initiative.
So we are issuing you with your own drums. So you have control over your receptacles, don't it? So your garbage don't have to be littered all over the place.
Recyclable waste refers to all the items we can convert into products that are useful. These include my water bottle, solid items such as paper, metals, furniture, and organic waste. Well, you don't really dispose of recyclable waste. At least, you shouldn't. Reusing or upscaling is the way to go. We're all responsible for the waste we create, and by separating them and practicing proper waste disposal, we'll create a beautiful, safe, and healthy environment, doing our part to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Did you know that you could be littering your environment and not know it? Littering is not only intentionally dropping rubbish on the ground or in a public place, but also the practice of putting your garbage in locations where it can fall, blow away, be washed away, or otherwise escape. With that said, here are 2 steps you can take to prevent yourself from being a litterer today. 1. Make sure your trash is secure. Newspapers, cans, and other lightweight waste materials can easily be picked up by the wind and scattered far away, so ensure that any garbage you are disposing of is securely placed in a bin. Similarly, try not to overfill your garbage bins because the wind can also easily blow an overfilled bin's lid open and spread the trash throughout the neighborhood. And 2. Keep a litter bag in your vehicle. Trash can easily be taken by the wind and blown out of a car window or a car door when opened. This is why it's best to keep a bag or a container in your vehicle to throw your garbage in so you can dispose of it properly later on. Let's all abide by these tips and help to make Jamaica a cleaner place for all of us to live, work, raise families, and do business.
A common practice while socializing, celebrating, or just relaxing is the consumption of alcohol. To some, this is second nature. All too common also are the negative effects that drinking has on the human body. While occasional drinking is not necessarily a problem, it's the excessive intake that can have severe consequences. The effects of too much alcohol consumption include blurred vision, breathing problems, impaired judgment, concentration problems, slurred speech, and of course, addiction resulting from long-term use. Now, these effects may vary based on a variety of factors such as how much you drink, how often you drink, your age, health status, and family history. Alcohol use does not have to be reckless. Here are some tips to practice responsible drinking.
Plan ahead. If you plan on drinking at an event, get a designated driver.
Shoulder. Yeah. Set your own limit. Know how much is too much.
Know your family history. If you come from a family with a history of alcohol dependence, you might want to limit your drinking.
Remember, responsible drinking is a very simple thing.
Practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently using soap and water. Here's how you should do it while conserving water. Turn on the tap to wet your hands, then turn off the pipe. Lather your hands and the tap with soap. Turn on the tap and wash your hands, back, front, and in between fingers. Use some of the water to wash off the tap, then turn it off. Dry your hands with disposable hand towels. If you don't have running water, use a hand rub containing 62% or more alcohol. If hand sanitizers are not available, rubbing alcohol, Dettol, white rum, or household bleach will do the trick. And if all else fails, let hand washing and the handling of potable water be a two-person event. Each person will take turns pouring and washing hands with sitting water. Now is a good time to consider installing a tap on your containers to reduce the risk of water contamination. Faucets can be easily attached to drums, buckets, or 5-gallon water bottles. And to ensure that the outside of the containers are clean when recapping, disinfect it with hand rub containing alcohol that's 62% or more. The 5 R's of water conservation are also necessary to practice. Reduce water wastage by investing in water-saving devices. Reuse water at least twice before discarding. Replace leaking pipes, faucets, and other plumbing equipment. Recycle wastewater and use it for gardening, car washing, or cleaning of public spaces. And reclaim water through rainwater harvesting. We all must play our part to ensure there's water to combat the coronavirus and stave off prolonged drought.
And that's all we have prepared for you in today's Jamaica Magazine. Thanks so much for browsing. As we go, do remember that you can meet up with us again on our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel tomorrow and every day after. And while you're online, why not head over to our social media pages to stay abreast of our latest news and information. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Audrey Williams, reminding you to keep your surroundings clean. Have a fantastic weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.